Hi and welcome to this week's FridAI, a very, very special edition. I'm here in Japan, so obviously had to get Mount Fuji in the background. But this week is all about Microsoft Ignite and the conference that they've done this week in Chicago. So I'm going to talk to you all about how you can use some of their top releases and their announcements and apply it to your accountancy firm.
I thought I'd come somewhere a little bit quieter. So, as I said, welcome to this week's Fried AI, somewhere a little bit more discreet than the base of Mount Fuji, to talk all about Microsoft Ignite. So, this conference happened in Chicago. It attracts 10,000 people through the doors, and basically, they just announce absolutely anything and everything that Microsoft has to offer. We've heard of Copilot. It's a term that I feel like we're getting a bit used to now, which is exciting. But Microsoft decided to overwhelm us completely and introduce 90, that's 90 new features for us to be learning, informing ourselves on, and everything else. So I thought today I would talk to you about the top 5 that I think accountants can use in their practice. Start with number 1 is Microsoft agents. So autonomous agents is something that I've discussed before. I can see them being used in practice now. It's not something that's coming, it's something that's here now. And Microsoft has said that they are releasing these to eliminate repetitive tasks. What they've also said is that these are going to be event triggered actions. So the autonomous agents are going to be able to give you proactive results. So, for example, if you've got anything in your practice where if one person does something, as a result, somebody else has to do something, the idea is that secondary part will then be done by an autonomous agent. They're also going to be linking up to ChatGPT for image analysis. So, how I see this working for us as accountants is the potential to upload a form and say, where do I fill out X, Y, and Z? Maybe it's a self assessment tax return and say, where can I put my income? So, that's something else to be aware of. And another thing that I'm really excited about is that it's going to be voice enabled. So it might come as a surprise to you. I'm absolutely a voice nerder. If I can chat to ChatGPT like I can a friend, a colleague, or anything else, I'm definitely going to use that. Let's just hope it can understand the whole accent. Number 2, SharePoint agents. So if you remember a few weeks back, I talked about Dropbox and how it was incorporating AI into that. It's very, very similar. So it can dig into your own knowledge base if you're using SearchPoint and find information out. So one of the things I said here was that if you had letters and you were like, could you find me all letters that have been sent to a certain postcode? Maybe you want to find any letters that have been sent to a certain client. Or could you find me any correspondence to do with stamp duty land tax that I've sent to HMRC? And you might want to then draw on these for a template for a new letter, for example. So you can draw into that knowledge base and you can chat to it. What I like about these is that they don't require any code. They're really, really easy to make. And you can also share them amongst teams and emails as well. You can also make them very specific. So if, for example, in a payroll folder, you want those SharePoint agents to act in one way, and in an audit folder, you want them to act another way, not a problem at all. And I'm presuming that also means that we can be quite strict on the security. Number 3 is the Microsoft 365 Copilot actions. So again, a little bit like number 1, the aim is to get rid of repetitive tasks. It's got pre-built shortcuts and it's really easy to delegate anything to the agents. I'm not going to go into this too much because if you've got a good practice management system, if you're using Carbon or FYI to automate your communications, there's no need for this. If you don't have anything like that, this could be something worth looking into. The reason why I did want to cover this though is because if you're somebody that's not confident on prompting, so prompting is the way you speak to these AI models, it's the way you ask the question. This new function is going to have drop down, so it can be like, when drop down X happens, can you drop down Y, for example. So it's going to make it really nice and easy for those of you that are not confident with prompt engineering. So as an example for accountants here, I'd said when an email contains where can I find my UTR, that can be from the drop down. We then say, as a result, send an email that automatically responds with this video or this text that explains where they can find it. Obviously, there's a bit more to it than that, but that's just a really basic example. Number 4 is the narrative builder in PowerPoint. And as somebody who does a lot of PowerPoint presentations, again, something I'm really looking forward to trying out. I've actually done the Copilot training modules, and I've seen this in action and it's fantastic. So for accountants, what we can do is we can upload a document and ask PowerPoint to create a great presentation based on this document. So if we're going to go out to tender to a potential new client, for example, we can put all facts and figures and information into a document, feed it into PowerPoint, maybe link it to our website and say include some testimonials and case studies, etc. And it's going to do that for us. Really excited about that one. And number five, finally but not least. Oh my gosh, you can tell I've been off for a few days. Last but not least, number 5, Copilot Analytics. And I'm probably getting tongue-tied because the person at Microsoft that came up with this and said, we need to create it, they need one hell of a bonus because this is going to increase the uptake of AI and agents and Copilot exponentially. It's going to be fantastic. So the idea behind Copilot Analytics is that it creates a dashboard which assesses the impact on the business. So it will have a look at the adoption rate, how you're adopting agents, AI, Copilot, how you're using it, and then also suggest other ways that you can use it within your business. So you're going to be able to see essentially your return on investment. And that's a question I get asked all the time is, where are we going to see the ROI? How can I calculate my return on investment? Well, this is going to let us do that. So that's going to be available early next year. I hope that was useful today. That is everything from me, and I will see you all next week. As they say in Japan, sayonara.